Hi guys, this is the third video for the review. Okay, in this video, we'll be using component method. Pero recap lang tayo. On the first video, diniscuss ko kung paano mag-identify ng direction at mag-illustrate ng vectors. Second video, paano naman i-identify yung component ng vectors. Dito naman, we'll be applying those concepts for us to find the resultant vector using component method. So, ito yung problem. The scouts are on a hike. Starting from home base, they make the following movements: 2 kilometer 40 degrees north of west, 4 kilometer 18 degrees west of south, and then 3 kilometer 28 degrees south of west. Find the total displacement. If you are asked to find the total distance, you will just add this. 2 kilometer plus 4 kilometer plus 3 kilometer, that's 9 kilometer. That is the total distance. Pero kapag ka total displacement, dito natin i-apply yung components. Okay? Add natin all the x component and the y component. Kasi nga, yung displacement, it's the shortest distance, okay, that they can take. Okay, so let's start. So syempre, una, illustrate natin yung given vector. Let's have A. Okay, if we have a small Cartesian plane, north of west can be found in the second quadrant. Okay, so we have here our Cartesian plane and our vector. Ayan. Okay, if that is 40 degrees north of west, of course, that should be attached to the west. We can draw our components here. Oops, there. Okay, so those are our components. Okay, and then let's label it. So this is our vector A. This is your A sub y. This is your A sub x. And this is the given theta. Okay, x component. Okay, that will be A sub x equals to your A cosine of theta. Substitute natin value. Yung A natin is 2 kilometer cosine of, that's 40. Okay, so A sub x is 2 cosine of 40. 1.53 kilometer, and should have its direction. Direction is towards west. Okay, for y component, we have here A sub y equal to A sine of theta. Okay, that will be equal to 2 kilometers sine of 40, and that will be equal to, okay, 2 sine of 40, 1.29 kilometers. Okay, and the direction is north. Okay, if you have this given, usually yan na rin naman yung component. One is west and then the north. Okay, so walang question dyan. Let's have number 2. That is west of south. If that's west of south, quadrant 3 naman natin siya makikita. So we can have here our Cartesian plane, quadrant 3. Okay, so this is the vector. This 18 degrees west of south. So siguro ganito naman siya. Okay, draw natin yung magiging components. So if that's your west of south, attached to south yan. Okay, so ito yung magiging angle natin. This is your 18 degrees. Okay, dito mag-a-apply yung method na diniscuss ko. Pwedeng gamitin yung sign sa x component, or you can get the value of this. If we will be getting the value of this, so that we will be consistent in using sign, okay, we can have this. Okay, so here, if this is 18, this will be your 72 degrees, right? Because it's 90 minus 18. With that, you can have here yung components. Ayan. Para di kayo malito, pwede na natin itong i-remove. Okay. And then, ito yung 18 degrees. Bakit yun yung ginamit natin? Ba't natin gagamitin si 72 degrees? So that will be consistent in using cosine. Okay? So that will be our, of course, that is our B. Okay, that's your B. This is your B sub Y, and then this is your B sub X. But then here, gagamitin natin for our B sub X is the B cosine of 72 degrees. Okay? 72 degrees kasi yung complementary angle niya. Okay? So that will be, of course, 4 kilometers from our given. Then, multiply by cosine 72. Okay? And that will give you 4 cosine of 72. 1.24. 1.24 kilometers. And the direction is west. Okay. You can verify using other method and it's okay. Then we have here the B sub Y and B cosine of 72. Okay. So that will be 4 kilometer cosine sine of 72. That will be equal to 4 sine of 72. That is 3.80 kilometers. And the direction is south. Okay, it's west and south. Okay, so for the third one, this is of course our A, B. Let's have our letter C. That is south of west. So let's illustrate this one. And then we have 3 kilometer here. 3 kilometer, a bit shorter. Okay, with that, ang magiging components natin, this is your angle. Okay, this is your theta. So, here are your components. Okay, this is your C. Oops. This is C. And this is... Okay, for letter C, let's just write here the components. So, we have C, C sub X, and then C sub Y. So for us to compute for C sub X, of course, that is C cosine of theta. So that will be 3 kilometer multiplied by cosine of 28 degrees. And then that will be equal to, that is 2.65. 65 kilometer direction west. Okay, let's have C sub Y. C sub Y is equal to C sine of theta equal to, so that's 3 kilometers. 3 kilometer sine of 28 degrees. Okay, and that will be, daming manok sa labas, 1.41. 1.41. Okay, that's 1.41 kilometer. Direction is south. Okay, see somewhere. Underline natin lahat ng maging answer. Let's underline it. Okay, so we have this one. Okay, this one, our A sub Y. Okay, this, and okay, this is our A sub Y, and B sub y. Okay, so after that, the next thing you have to do is to add all the x components and all the y component. Pag mag-add na kayo lahat ng direction, magiging sign. Okay, like west, okay, is negative, and south is negative, north and east is positive. So let's have that. Okay, again, for you, I'll just be moving this here. Okay. Let's have here the resultant. Okay, so for our resultant, we'll have here r sub x. R sub x is a sub x plus b sub x plus c sub x. And of course, you have your r sub y equal to a sub y plus b sub y plus c sub y. Okay, substitute. Okay, so lahat ito ay west. So dahil lahat ay west, so negative siya. Okay, so we have negative 1.53. That is 1.53 kilometers plus a negative 1.24 kilometers plus negative, ingay talaga namang negative 2.65 kilometer. It's kilometer. Okay, so here, sinulat ko na yung values. Again, yung direction, yun yung magdedetermine kung ano yung magiging sign niya. Kung north and east, positive. Okay, and then yung west and south, of course, that's negative. Okay, kaya we have here negative 1.53 because it's towards west and west. Okay, and then we have here positive for 1.29 because it's towards north and the other is towards south. Nakuha po. Okay, add using your calculator. That's negative 1.53 plus negative 1.24 and so on. The answer will be negative 5.42 kilometers. Okay, and for your r sub y, the answer will be negative 3.92 kilometers. Okay, we can write the direction. Okay, so your r sub x, because it's negative, it's 5.42 kilometer towards west. Right, that's the negative for the x component. And then for the r sub y, that will be 3.92 kilometers south kasi yun yung negative. Okay, after that you have to illustrate, okay, the answer. So let's underline this. Okay, hapon na, may mga manok pa rin, I mean, ingay pa rin nila. So, meron na tayo na answer. Next is to illustrate. We'll start with the x component. Okay, that's towards west. So, kung ito yung ating origin, towards west. So, let's use blue. Green, let's use green. Okay. So, that's 5.42. So, mula dito. Ito. Sabihin natin na ito. Towards west. Okay? So, with that, we can have here. Dapat lagyan nyo ng arrowhead. Okay? So that you will know saan yung next na vector idudugtong. Next, we have here r sub y towards south. So, from the head of the first vector, you have to connect the next vector. Here, so ito siya. Mas maliit lang ng konti kasi 3 about 4. Okay, so that's it. So let's have an arrowhead. And our resultant vector will be drawn mula dun sa tail. Okay, or dun sa tip no unang vector up to the head of the second vector. So this is your resultant vector. Okay, let's name it. This is your resultant. Okay, so the displacement, ito yung asked. Okay, we have here your r sub x. Okay, your r sub x, and then your r sub y. With that, you can see that you have here angle theta. Okay, which later on kailangan din isolve for you to know the direction of that. Okay, and as you can see, you form a right triangle, and your r is your hypotenuse, so you can find the value of your hypotenuse using the Pythagorean theorem. So we can just use simply r is equal to the square root of your r sub x squared plus r sub y squared. So that will be equal to the square root of course, this 5.42, okay, kilometer squared plus 3.92 kilometer squared. Okay, compute using your calculator. Answer will be 6.69 kilometers. Ayun ang K. Yan, kilometers. So that is your R, the magnitude of R. Okay, you have to find the direction. Okay, so for you to compute that, you have your theta equal to, okay, we have here the opposite side and the adjacent side. So we'll be using the tangent theta. Okay, the tangent theta equal to the opposite side over the adjacent side. So that will be theta is equal to the arctan, or the tangent inverse of the opposite side of the angle. Here is r sub y. Okay, r sub y over r sub x. So let's just substitute. That will be the tangent inverse of 3.92 over 5.42. Okay, of course that's in kilometer. We can cancel out kilometer. Okay, our theta will be equal to 35.88 degrees. Okay, or we can say that this is approximately 36 degrees. But 36 degrees, ano yung magiging direction niya? Okay, you can draw here a small Cartesian plane, and that is attached to west. Okay, that is south from west. So that will be your south of west. Okay, if you will write the whole resultant vector, then that is r equal to 6.69 kilometers, 36 degrees south of west. So that is your final answer. Okay, so that's it. Okay.